Ed Reed. How you doing? David, Stan, all that kind of nice, neat, fun stuff. Get out of there. Get out of there. And back to here we go. And we are... Alrighty, check it out. Hey, John, how you doing? Well, sorry I'm a little late tonight, but it is what it is. I gotta stay nice and warm. I'm up here in Maine and it's freaking cold. I just came from Florida. So it's a little bit chilly, so it is what it is. Let's get going. My setup is a little bit different tonight because I am at my friend's house up in Maine, and he doesn't quite have the same setup that I do because he doesn't do that kind of stuff. Judy, how you doing? Canal, JFLO, what's happening? We're going to get ready to get started. First of all, let's get started. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow. Take you along for the ride. David, good evening. Thanks for doing this while on vacation. Hey, you know what? It gives me something to do. It kind of makes it fun and interesting. Freezing my ass off, of course. But you know what? It is what it is. Hello. Hey, Lay. How are you today? Thank you for your dedication. Cool beanies. All right, Dennis, how you doing? So, let's start taking some questions. Let's take a look at some stuff. Here we go. Here's my trusty old book. And what are we looking at this week? Oh, that's what we have coming up next week. Let's go over the list of what we have coming up next week. Get a jump on things. Up, Austin, what's happening? Michael Stewart, how you doing? All right, that being said, I got a list of about 20 stocks that we've been following for the past week or so. So let's take a look at them. Let's see how they look. First and foremost is going to be Alcoa. Alcoa. So let's throw Alcoa. And here we go. Cool. So let's get out of here. We don't need that. We'll probably be looking at this one right here. That'll work. And we don't need 12. We only need about 8. 8 ought to do it. Jill Ann Bruner, how are you tonight? I'm on vacation. It's a little chilly up here in Maine, way up in Moosehead Lake area. So yeah, it's a bit nippy. A little bit different than Florida. You know, down in Florida I have my whole studio set up. So here I got a small pop-up screen. So let's quickly take a look. Alcoa, first and foremost. Here we get the high right up over here. Okay, here's the high of the year. Here's the bottom of the year. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at the movement we got. Why on earth would you go somewhere cold for vacation? I wanted to get away. It's peaceful and quiet up here. Okay, we're driving up the road, and it's like nothing for miles. Trees and woods. That's all there is. No houses, no businesses, nothing. Do you have to set an expiration date with stock options once you enter the call? No, Lay, when you buy a call, as you can see over here, actually when you sell a call or buy the call, whichever one you're going to do, okay, the date is already there. So if you look where my cursor is right now, it says 15 November 24. That means it's going to expire on the 15th. Okay, 22 November, it's going to expire on the 15th. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't make it last longer. You can't make it go faster. The expiration date is the expiration date. That's like on the carton of milk. July 4th means you got to drink that milk before July 4th. All right. Anyway, we're looking at Alcoa. The bottom of the year was 23.70, and that was in the middle of December. Now the high was just recently. Actually, it was Thursday. Thursday is the 30-day high for Alcoa, so that's going to be a no. Thank you. So it is best to enter closer to the date, would you say? No, Lay, what we're trying to do is we're trying to buy a decent stock. Okay? Buy a decent stock, sell somebody the option to buy it from us for basically the exact same price we just paid for it. That way your risk is lower. The lower you can have your risk, the better it is going to be for you, depending, of course, what you want. Now, what I want is, simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week. I honestly really don't care if the stock goes up or not. I want to get in, I want to collect my money, and I want to get out. Sir, are you blind? No, I'm not. Okay? I'm on vacation at my friend's house up in Maine. It is pitch black outside, And I did get stuck with a nail in one eye, so one eye does not work, so I only have one. So, no, I'm not blind, but thank you for that. All right, next on the list. So Alcoa is not going to make it. We're probably going to look at Alcoa in about... Ooh, check it out. Kohl's and Home Depot. I have a pen. Oh, here's my pen right here. So let's write them down. Kohl's, KSS, Home Depot. All right, we'll take a look. Excited about Estee Lauder next week. We'll take a look at Estee Lauder also, because I actually have some Estee Lauder, and I'm kind of curious what it's going to do also. Now, Estee Lauder is one of those few companies that have really, really good premiums. So even if you're 4, 5, 6 strikes out of the money, Tesla's going to be a no. Sorry, Alcon. If you're 4 or 5 strikes out of the money, you're still paying you're still collecting a decent premium. Look at here with Alcoa. At the money, it's 98 cents. That's 2%. Okay, enjoy your vacation, leaving early. Yeah, probably. Darzik, how are you doing over here on YouTube? I only brought 2 cameras with me. Wait a minute. Yeah, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I left all the other cameras in Florida. Yeah, I didn't want to bring too much stuff with me. So Tesla's going to be a no, and the reason why Tesla's going to be a no, because Tesla does not have dividends. Now, the reason why I like a dividend is because the stock moves up just before the dividend is paid. Let's take a look at the calendar real quick. Each one of these little green dots you see over here on the screen, that represents an EX dividend date, or the dividend. That's when they actually get ready to pay the dividend. So if they're going to be paying a dividend on these little dates right here, just before the dates, the stock has a tendency to go up in value. So if the stock is going to go up in value, and we know this ahead of time, well, what do you do with that information? 86, how you doing? So if you know a stock's going to go up ahead of time, now I like to buy it 2 weeks in advance, okay? That gives me 2 weeks for the stock to move up for me to capture my 1%. And I usually get it in the first or second week. Eric Dickerson, hey, how are you? I'm a little bit cold, but other than that, I'm fine. What way to see that dividend calendar? All right, TradeWig. This dividend calendar is on Thinkorswim. You can download for free and just put it on your computer. That way you have you have the chance to take a look at what stocks are having a dividend on what day. And then you can plan your trades accordingly. Because stocks only move for 2 reasons. Okay, one reason is called an unknown reason. That's a natural disaster. A lawsuit that comes out of the middle of nowhere. Maybe the federal government yanks one of the licenses, or something strange happens that you cannot plan for, that there's no advance notice on. That's an unplanned event. So what is a planned event? A planned event is something you can set your calendar by. Earnings, dividends, stock splits, announcements. We the people. Hi, James. How was your trip? It was uneventful. I love an uneventful trip. I get there, I sign in, sit in my seat, pull my hat down, snuggle up, fall asleep, and they wake me up when we're there. You didn't call me last night or this morning. I had so much to do today. I went down to Mom's, worked on the motorhome, had a prep for the trip, then I was on my trip. So not a whole lot happened. Well, actually a whole lot happened today, doing a lot of running around. But I do have a phone. I have who one of them is. Because he just said, hey, you told me to give me your number. So no names. I was going to call someone and say, hey. All right, so anyway, as I was saying, the dividend dates on the dividend calendar, okay, the stocks have a tendency to go up in value. Okay, we the people, text it, send it to me again on TikTok, and I'll call you in the morning. What was I saying? Oh, stocks have a tendency to go up just before the dividend date. So if you know when the dividend's going to be, you can plan your trades around that. And that's what I like to do. I've been doing that for the past 15 years. Anyway, it's very predictable. That's why I like it. So let's get back to where we were. We were talking about Alcoa and how Alcoa is not going to work. Stocks like O work for that program? Absolutely no. Okay? Now, O Realty, don't get me wrong. Some people like the company. Me, I don't like it only because The yield that the company gives back to their investors is crap, in my humble opinion. Secondly, they have a monthly optionable. So you only do it once a month. Okay, once a month is only 12 times a year. 12 times a year, it's not the same as 52 times a year. Shared live, I joined today. Okay, Terry, send me, DM me here on TikTok with your phone number and I'll call you in the morning. I'm shivering on your behalf. I appreciate that, Jill. But, yeah, it's a nice old house. It's an old farmhouse from back in the late 1790s, I believe it was. Or the early 1800s. But it's old. All right. Alcoa, no. Next on the list. Somebody wants to take a look at Kohl's. Let's take a look at Kohl's. I like Kohl's. I actually own some Kohl's. Uh-oh. Helps if I put the right ticker symbol in. All right, here's Kohl's right here. Now, Kohl's, as you can see on the chart, it actually made a new bottom on Friday. Well, just like we had to wait with Walgreens, where is the bottom? Well, we'll just sit and wait until it shows up. Once it shows up, hey, here it is. But until then, let's take a look at the numbers. A year ago, Kohl's was at 23, has a top the end of March at 29.68. Look at the bottom for the last couple of weeks. Okay, back last 30 days. Where are we? Right there. 30 days ago, we opened up at 19.12. See that way over there? 19.12. You can barely see it. 19.12. And that was 21.18. From there, it's like 3 weeks. 3 weeks all the way down to the bottom. And the bottom is Friday. Okay, and that was 17.41. Okay, so basically, we're going to keep our eye on Kohl's all week long and wait for it to find the bottom. Well, this could be it. Also, Monday could be the bottom. Tuesday could be the bottom. Good evening. Can you look at Wynn? Mark Sherman, how are you today? Mark, I'm going to write it down, and we'll get to it. So Kohl's, we're going to settle up with Kohl's, saying we're going to keep our eye on it next week. So I'm writing it down on the calendar for next week. Kohl's. Okay, Home Depot is next on the list. Somebody wanted to take a look at Home Depot. Now, I like Home Depot, don't get me wrong, but I very rarely trade it. And the reason why is it's over $400 a share. Jill, you want to take a look at Advanced Auto? Right now, we'll be looking at Home Depot. I want to say Harley Davidson because it says HD. Because no, Home Depot. Okay, so I don't really trade Home Depot because it's over $400. I like to stay under $300. Amy, so Home Depot, the high is at $421. A year ago, $286.79. She jumps up, pulls back up again. Now, look at the last 30 days. 30 days ago today. Okay, 30 days ago, we opened up at $420. Okay, she dipped back up, made a 30-day high. Okay, Arnulfo Garcia. Arnulfo Garcia? Spider? I don't do spiders. ARR down lately? Hold on. ARR. I've never heard of it, which is not a good thing if I've never heard of it. Brian Lowe's. ExxonMobil. XOM. All right, guys, that's like 7 so far. We're still on number 2. Let's go one at a time. Okay, so Home Depot. I have no ginger tea tonight. Just some root beer. British Petroleum, Brian, huh? BP. All right, let's keep going one at a time. The 30-day high for Home Depot was $421.56. Stair steps down. Wednesday is the bottom on the 6th. That was Wednesday that just passed. 381. Well, from 381, she has 2 days to the upside. See that? 1, 2. Thursday was a higher day. Friday was a higher day. That usually means it's a great opportunity to decide for yourself. for me, it's 2 days to the upside after a 30-day bottom. Okay, 30-day bottom was was Wednesday. So Thursday's up, Friday is up. What are we looking at? Oh, seasonality. What does this normally do this time of year? Home Depot, you'd think it goes nicely. Yep, it does. Look at that. Nice upward movement right to the end right to the end of the year. So Home Depot, I'm going to circle that one because that one looks good for next week. Home Depot. Now, Home Depot currently at $406.99. The 407s. Look at that, $7.60 a share. Nice. All right, so I want to go back to standard right there. Let's get out of that. Let's take a look at the 407s. What does that look like? What does it look like? The 407s. There it is. Let's do one contract and see what the numbers look like. Okay, market order. All right, here you go. Buy one covered call of Home Depot, 15 November 24. Okay, that is next Friday. That means the option is going to expire. So whoever's going to buy it from you, they have to do what they have to do before it expires. You in a different room? Yeah, I'm up in Maine. You weren't paying attention. So I'm on a vacation. So I think at the beginning of, yesterday I was in Florida. Wait a minute. A couple of months ago I was in Sarasota. Then I was in St. Petersburg. Now I'm up in Munson, Maine. Just a little bit down the street from, what is it? Moosehead Lake. Cool. All right, so anyway, let's finish up. Hey, Mo Fish, you're in Florida. Yeah, it's warm there, isn't it? 15 November 24th. That means it expires next Friday. And it's the 407.5. Wait, you're retired? Isn't every day a vacation? Basically, it is. Okay. Mo Fish, you're in Palm Beach. Cool. Home Depot, pricey for calls. Amy, yeah, it is for some people. Yes, Mo, it probably is nice and warm. I was there this morning. Okay, I was actually running around with a t-shirt and a pair of shorts. So now I've thinking about going to the store and buying some long johns. I'm kind of curious if you people in Florida actually know what long johns are, or if you've ever even worn them. All right, let's finish up what we're doing. The break even is $3.97. Look at the max profit, $9.82. Holy shit, $9.82. Calculator. $9.82. And what is it costing me for this one trade? $39,768. That's 2.4% if you like it. And you're in Luxembourg. Hard to follow UE hours. Interesting. I was in Luxembourg. No, wait a minute. No. I drove past Luxembourg because I went to Bruges. I went to Cannes. I went to Paris. I went to Boulogne. And I went to Dijon, Macon, and a bunch of places. But we're cruising from Cannes, the Riviera, and we're cruising up north, and we're deciding whether we want to go into Luxembourg and see all the castles, because I remember in high school they did a story on the Luxembourg castles, or keep going straight. And we were deciding, we didn't really want to pay $45 to get off that exit, just to go into Luxembourg. Yeah, no thank you. But it passed up the opportunity. Anyway, so 2.46% for Home Depot for next week. If you like Home Depot, that's all. I like Home Depot, and do I like it at this current price? Well, the current price right now is $406.99, $407. Okay, for one share. That's one share, $409. I usually don't play in this sandbox because it's a little pricey. I like to stay 250 or below. All right. That being said, let's move over to the next one. Let's get out of there. Get out of there. Out of there, back to Oregon. Okay, look at that one a bit. Right now, we're looking at Estee Lauder, EL. Now, I actually have some Estee Lauder. I've had it for 6 or 7 months, and I'm just collecting premiums every week and dividends too. Okay, so Estee Lauder, you had the high at 159 back in February. A year ago, we're at 115.38. She shoots up to the high, drops. Look at the big drop. Okay, this was very disturbing when I bought this one. I mean, when the big drop came. 30 days ago, here we are. 30 days ago, we opened up at 93.74. 2 days later, that's the high of the 30-day period, and that is 97.44. Okay, so from there, she just drops down, keeps on going, and the bottom was Wednesday. If you can you look at AB? It's a PTP. Okay, and what is a PTP? I have no idea what that is. AB. Now, and you got to remember that European options in the European market is totally different than the U.S. market. The U.S. market, you can exercise your options anytime you want. European market, you can only exercise them on the date of expiration. Publicly traded partnership. Okay, but is it in the U.S.? Is it in the U.S. market? A, B. Yeah, sorry, kiddo, it's going to be a no. The reason why it's a no is it has monthly options. Again, there's a difference between a weekly option. Okay, monthly option, you can do it once a month, which is the third Friday. That's only 12 times a year. A weekly option, well, it's every Friday, which is 52 times a year. So if you're getting an average, this one's at 35, okay, 37.75, and yeah, the numbers are just absolutely horrible. Is there any you'll recommend for Canada? I don't do the Canadian market, so I really couldn't tell you. I'll be totally honest with you. Mark, big mistake buying WBA and still own it. Okay, Mark, I'm going to actually look up WBA. If you're going to hang out, we got like 6 stocks to do before we get to WBA. But I'll be more than glad to debate with you on WBA. But considering I've had it since February, I've made 1 to 2% every single week. I haven't lost a dime on it yet. So 1 or 2% every single week. And since February, that's 7 months. 7 months times 4, that's 28. That's almost 40%. I'm up 40% on Walgreens. Somewhere in that area. Okay, you get 1% a week, 40 weeks, that's 1% a week. Okay, sometimes I make 2% a week on Walgreens. But, Mark, if you're still here, we'll take a look at it. At this moment in time, we are moving on to... Wait a minute, we didn't finish Estee Lauder. Okay, so here's Estee Lauder. Okay, the bottom was on Wednesday. Samarley. Kuka, is that right? Kuka Samarley? Thanks. Texas here. It was 80, now 70 and humid. Good. Rub it in. I've been to Texas. Didn't thrill me. Hey, I look cold. That's funny. Just a smidge. So Kuka, there are some stocks you can trade in Canada. However, there are some trading strategies you cannot do in Canada. Okay, because we have a couple of clients that are in Canada. Eric, how do I get my ex-wife to sell her Apple stock so I don't have to pay? That's a court case thing, dude. Seriously. But I did hear, don't know if you want to pursue this or not, but I did hear about a Supreme Court ruling that deemed child support unconstitutional. Might be something you want to take a look at. I don't know. I don't know what your state is up to. Yes, I didn't say don't go bashed on Texas. I've been to Texas. Okay, what are they? Kuka, those are the same things that are available anywhere. You know, Coca-Cola, Home Depot, Lowe's, AT&T, Ford, General Motors, companies like that. Okay, where was I? So Estee Lauder, love Texas, love Florida too. Amy, yeah, certain parts of Texas are okay. Okay, when you go smack dab in the middle of the Texas and there's no ocean around anywhere, yeah, I'm not feeling it. Okay, now I'm sure But anyway, my kids are here, my mother's here, so this is where I am. Oh, wait a minute. No. My kids are in Florida. My mother's in Florida. So my mother's in her 80s. She's getting the last parts of her years, and I got nothing else to do. So hanging out there, taking care of her and taking care of the kids, and hanging out with my grandson. Okay? So, that being said, let's keep on moving. Estee Lauder. Yeah, I'm into it at somewhere in the 90s, and I sold the 73s because the 73s actually had some decent. Wait a minute. Did I sell? No, I didn't. I think I sold the 70s. Yeah. I should change to the 60s. Anyway. Sorry, I didn't get what you said. Oh. Kuka, there are some stocks that you can trade both the U.S. market and the Canadian market. Okay, I don't really pay attention to the Canadian market, so I'm not the person you really want to ask about that. Sorry. All right, so that was Estee Lauder. Now we're going to look at Wynn Resorts, W-Y-N-N. Wynn is currently at 84.30. Back in April, first week in April, 110.56. The bottom was in August, 71. A year ago, 93.51. The high, the low, back up, back down. And now we're actually coming to a down cycle. Okay, this is going to be a no, dude. Sorry. Wynn is just, once it finds its bottom, then maybe. Other than that, we'll just keep our eye on it. And once it finds its bottom, check the numbers then. Because right now, if I was going to buy it at 84.28 or 84.36, I'd be selling the 85s. That's still over 1%. Okay, and I like 1%. 1% a week works well for me. You know, that's over 50% per year. I shouldn't be telling people about what kind of rates of returns I'm getting. And I'm thinking, why not? Well, it's misleading. But it's really not because I'm actually making it. And I said you could, which is a possibility. You could do it if you followed numbers. Remember the paint by numbers years ago? You know, 1 is blue, 2 is yellow, 3 is green, you know, that type thing. So every little square you paint yellow or you paint whatever. It's the same thing. You pick a good stock, you sell the right covered call at the right time, and then you should, hypothetically speaking, get 1% every week. Hypothetically, you should. Okay, could you? Yes. Does everybody? No. I don't know why. People are different. People are strange, what Jim Morrison would say. Okay, so Wynn Resort's going to be a no. AAP. Somebody wanted to take a look. Oh, Jill. Jill wanted to take a look at Advanced Auto Parts. Here we go. Advanced Auto Parts. Now, I do have some Advanced Auto Parts in more than one account. Here's the high, 88.80. Here's the low, 35.87. Okay, a year ago we were at 57. Shoots up to 88. Drops all the way down on the 1st of November. That was last Friday. Okay, so last Friday was one day to the upside. Then you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 5 days to the upside. Now remember, if there's a profit waiting to be taken and you don't take it, nobody's fault but your own. Okay, as you can see in the chart, the 30-day bottom was on Friday. Friday was up. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 5 days to the upside. And then this Friday, yesterday, the stock pulled back. Well, profits are being taken. Stocks go down. Hey, how do you know which strike price to choose for a gain? Sam Wise, how are you doing today? Okay, Brian, AAP has earnings on the 14th. All right, we'll take a look at that, but let me answer Sam's question for a minute. All right, Sam, I'm hoping you can see the screen behind me. Now, the screen behind me is live on YouTube. So you can see just the screen itself. Makes it a little easier to see all those little tiny numbers. Okay? But if you watch it on your laptop or your iPhone or your iPad, you probably really can't see it very well. Okay, Marathon Mom. We already looked at Home Depot. Okay, Ivan, how are you doing? Closest to the current price depending on the premiums offered. I was just getting ready to answer that question. Very well, thank you. I'm cold, but other than that, I'm fine. So Sam Wise, he wants to know what strike price to choose. Well, if you look at the current price right now is $38.48. So if you look at the strike prices, okay, right smack dab in the middle over here, 36.50, 37, 37.50, 38, 38.50, 39, so on and so forth. So if the stock is currently at 38.48, the closest strike price is going to be 38.50. But you can also possibly do the 38, because the 38 may give you 1%, but it's a lot safer of a trade because the stock price is already has its intrinsic value, which means it's already higher than 38. Yeah, you'd be losing you'd be losing 48 cents. But if you take 48 cents out of that 2.99, you're still up over 2.50. Okay, 2.50 on a $38 stock. Well, that's a freaking good return. Hey, back from yesterday. Invest Right, how are you tonight? Nice to see you back. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Okay, wherever you bought the strike, whatever you bought the stock at, whatever is closest, and then it's always about the numbers. Okay, so let's, for the fun of it, let's do a 38, and then we'll do a 38.50. Okay, so let's get out of here. Let's change this. Let's do the 38. Here's the 38 right here. Let's do market order. Let's do just one contract. Now, pay attention to the number. Okay, so the profit on the 38 is going to be $2.78 per share, but you're also losing 48 cents a share. Chinny and Snuggie, you want to do co-hosting? I don't know either. I'm going to say no. Sorry, just decline. 78. So let's get the calculator out. 278 and divide it by the purchase price. 38.48. 38.48. No, that's wrong. 278 divided by 3,522. That's better. 3,522. Okay, 7.8%. That's freaking nice. Cost of trade. Is that right? That can't be right. Can somebody else check the numbers on that one? On Advanced Auto Parts? Because if I'm buying it at 38.48 and I'm making 278 and it's costing me 3,500, that can't be right. Well, alrighty then. All right, now let's take a look at the 38.50. 38.50, one contract at the market, 280, and it's cost me 35. Okay. 280 divided by 3,570. Well, right around the same, but the 48 is going to be a safer trade because it's already in the money. Okay, so the stock doesn't have to move in order for you to be out and make a profit. All right, that being said, Michael Bordelon. How you doing, Michael Bordelon? We're looking at Home Depot. Closest to the current strike price, right? XOM. XOM and ADHD. Oh, Amy, XOM Mobile. Cassie, how are you doing there, Cassie? All right, so we're going to write down ExxonMobil. It's already written down, so we'll take a look at that one. And Mela wants to take a look at Shop and Spot. Well, I could save you time, Mela. Seriously. Shop is going to be a no, and Spot, that's going to be a no also. Okay, no dividends, no thank you. No weekly options, no thank you. What happened to your wife? Oh, Miss Kathleen. She is still in Boston. She wanted to be by herself. So I'm down here. I'm up here in Maine at the moment. be by herself, and you guys can take it from there. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. YouTube is frozen. YouTube is frozen? Oh, that one's not frozen. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it seems to be moving. That one does. Go there. Let's go here. Let's go. No. Right here. Is that right? Jay, we're checking it really quickly. See what's happening. Oh, wow, it's taking a while for that thing to load. Watching. The latest. Yeah, there's two of them here. Okay, that one. Wait a minute, this one. This one. Okay, yeah, that one's not frozen. It seems to be working fine. All right, let me get out of that one. Not frozen. All right, that's working fine. Let's go back here. All right, so that's Advanced Auto Parts. Always check out the numbers. When you decide what you like and if it's going to work for you, remember, never buy something you don't know or you don't understand. If you don't know who the company is, don't buy it. What a pick option are you talking about? All right. Gandharix, you're new here, so I would just suggest to sit, chill, relax, ask questions, and just see what we're doing. We're trying to invest in dividend stocks, create a covered call play to gain a 1% consistent, predictable, and profitable per week. Okay, now 1% per week is over 50% per year. If that sounds enticing, just sit, relax, and see if it makes sense. Okay? Oh, look at that. That's cool. It's disappeared. Delvana B. That's a lovely name. All right. Next on the list, ARR. I've never heard of ARR, so let's take a look at what is ARR. ARR. More residential. Cool. No. Okay, I don't like monthlies. Troy. You talk about Troy built the lawnmower, tiller, tractor company. All right, we'll take a look at it. Lowe's. All right, we'll take a look at Lowe's. Lowe's is next. LOW. Now, I like Lowe's. Dividend King's been around for over 100 years. Look at the numbers. Here's the high, 286. Here's the low. Look at the movement. Up, down, up, down. Now she's headed to the upside. Let's look at the last 30 days. Now, the reason I like the last 30 days, it gives me a good idea of where it's going next. So 30 days ago, we opened up at 278.10. 4 days later, there's the top on the 15th, and that was 278.01. From there, she drops, hits a 30-day bottom, which was Wednesday, right? Wednesday's bottom was 257.25. Now, I'm going to pause for one moment, so don't go anywhere. Oh, that's much better. All right, laugh if you will, but I want to be warm. Oh, wow, what the heck is this damn thing? It's huge. Anyway, Lowe's. Currently the stock line, so we're looking at the 272s. That's paying $3.25, which is well over 1%. And that's what works for me. ARR, 15% yield. Alcon, I get that. Seriously, I do. But if you want to invest for 15% yield, more power to you. I like 1% a week. 1% a week is 50% per year. Okay, you want to invest at 15%? Be my guest. Oh, who sang that? Wasn't it? Be my guest, you got nothing to lose. Won't you let me take you? So anyway, 15% yield, fine. I like 1% a week. 1% a week is 50% per year. All right. So lows, 271. The 272s are going for 325. I think 325 divided by 271. That's 1.19. When you say 1%, do you just take the dividend and then sell? No, the dividend, you want both? You can't have both. You either take the 15% yield or you take the 1% a week. Okay, 1% a week is 50% a year. Okay, the 15% yield, well, you hold it all year long. There's nothing wrong with buying a stock and holding it all year long. As a matter of fact, that's what most people do. Most people buy a stock and just hold on to it. There's nothing wrong with that. Perfectly acceptable. But that's not what I do. Okay, I buy a stock. I sell a covered call against it. I grab 1% every single week, and it comes to a total of over 50% per year. And no, I don't look just at the dividend. I look at the premium, because the premium is usually higher than the dividend. So you don't long term. Nope. Longest I've ever held anything was 9 months. Okay, in that 9 months, I collected 3 dividends and like 35 different premiums. I made a nice profit off of it, but not as much as I could have had I kept that money rolling 1 week at a time at 1%. Because when the stock drops, sometimes you can't get 1%. And I don't like selling at a loss. Okay? So if I don't sell at a loss, I have to reduce the premiums that I sell. And when I reduce the premiums I sell, sometimes I don't get the 1%. Good thing that some companies pay more than 1%. Because when a company pays more than 1%, it offsets the other ones that aren't making 1%. So it's an average of 1% overall on the whole account. So if I have a $100,000 account, well, I'm making $1,000 a week. That's 1% a week. All right. That's Lowe's. I like Lowe's. Lowe's, you had the 30-day bottom, which was Wednesday. Thursday was an update. Friday was an update. Look at it on Friday, and the distance all the way to the high of the 30-day period. That's my measuring stick. How close is Friday's close compared to the bottom? And then how close is Friday's close to the high of the 30-day period? Well, it's in an upward trend because the trend is your friend right up to the end. Well, 30 days ago, well, not quite 30 days ago, but on the 15th, that was the high of the 30-day period. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 down days, 3 up days, and then you get a 30-day bottom. Well, at your 30-day bottom, well, it now looks attractive. So people start buying it, and when that happens, it starts to go up. So Thursday's an update, Friday's an update. Okay, can it keep on going? Yeah, it stops. Okay, it goes in a certain direction, it stops, turns around, goes back. That's what they do. Okay, ExxonMobil. Somebody wanted to take a look at ExxonMobil. So let's take a gander. XOM. Alrighty. The high is 126.34. That was a couple of weeks ago. The bottom back in mid-January, 95.70. A year ago, 103, and currently at 221. All right. So the 222s, the 122s share. Now, I really do like ExxonMobil, but if you can do some quick math, you'll see that this week, ExxonMobil is only offering a 0.5%. So we can all say it at once. That's a no. I don't like any. Now, some people may like a 0.5% a week because that's 6% at the end of the year. Well, that's really not that good choice between a good, solid company. Now, Exxon is a good, solid company. Okay, but so is Bank of America, so is U.S. Steel, so is Home Depot, so is Lowe's, so is Dollar General, so is the Dollar Tree. They're all good, solid companies, but if this was, and let's say Home Depot, we looked at that one. That one's paying more than 1%. I would prefer to go to Home Depot because it's better. Exxon trading to close to the 52-week high. Yeah, I see that. Also, the numbers don't work, in my humble opinion. But it's very observant of you. Okay, so British Petroleum. Are we going to see the same thing with British Petroleum? Oh, let's take a look. BP, British Petroleum. Wait a minute. Okay, British Petroleum. The high, 40.43. That was in mid-April. The bottom, which was Friday, yesterday. Is that right? 28.80. A year ago, she opened up at 34.85, shoots up to the high, 40.56, drops down at Friday. Now look at the gaps we have. All right. On the 8th, we have a gap down. On the 15th, we have a gap down. On the 28th, we have a gap down. On the 29th, we have a gap down. And on the 8th, yesterday, another gap down. All right, well, it's safe to say that this thing is currently at the 30-day bottom. Now, we like it to bounce off the bottom, so we will wait for it to turn around to go back to the upside. But look at all the gaps. Well, this gap already filled. This gap already filled. This one hasn't filled yet. That one did fill. This one partially filled, and that one did. So gaps do have a tendency to fill. All right, BP. We'll be watching that one. So I write that one down. Next on the list, Kinder Morgan. KMI. KMI. Nope. That was quick, wasn't it? Look at it. It's at the high of the year. Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, that's going to be, what, 3 weeks before that thing looks good again? Okay, that's 1 week away. That's 2 weeks away. Here we go. 3 weeks away. Kinder Morgan. KMI. All right, so we'll take a look at Kinder Morgan in 3 weeks. Walgreens. So, there's my buddy here who wanted to talk about Walgreens. Trump may help Exxon. It might. We'll see what happens. You know, drill, baby, drill. Exxon is one of those people that likes to drill. So, let's take a look at, what did we say? Walgreens. Now, somebody was questioning why I owned Walgreens. Well, I own Walgreens because I consistently make money off of it every week. Now, like I said, we've been following Walgreens all the way back into February. Now, if you follow something and you get, for lack of better terms, intimate with it, you know what it's doing, you know where it's going, well, it's going to be a favorable trade if you keep your eye on it. All right, so our high back in December, 27.09. Our bottom, 8.05, and that was in September. A year ago, we're at 20.86. Yesterday, we closed at 9.07. So look at the movement. Shoots up, drops down, shoots up, drops down. Oh, here's where we are, right here. 30 days, right there. All right, there. Okay, so 30 days ago, we're at 9.04. We bottomed out 1 day later at 8.80. Okay, a couple of days later, there's our top, 11.11. Drops down, streams sideways for about 2 weeks, and finally has a new low yesterday at 9.05. All right, well, I'm into Walgreens, I believe, at 9.60, 9.70, somewhere in that area. I even bought some at 12, so I have it. Walgreens in about 4 different accounts because it consistently makes me money. Why wouldn't I? That being said, right now she's at 9.12. Not the perfect opportunity to jump in. The 9.50s are going for 7. Not quite there. The 9s are going for 25. You take 12 off of that, you're working with 13. That's over 1 1/3. 1.25%. Okay? For Exxon, for what do you call it? Walgreens. next on the list, actually the last thing on this list is Troy. And Troy most likely is going to be a no because I've never traded Troy. Troy Group. No options, no thank you. We can all say it all at once. No options, no thank you. Why? Why would we want to buy something that doesn't have options, or I don't even know if it has dividends? All right, so that's it for your guys' list. Let me take a look at some of my stuff. Alcoa, we already looked at. Ford, let's take a look at Ford. Because Ford is up for consideration. Let's get out of that trade, but I don't want that. Ford. All right. A year ago, Ford's at 978. The top of the year was 1485, and that was the middle of July. Okay, towards the end of July, beginning of August, Black-Eyed Joe wants to take a look at Comcast, CMCSA, on the 5th of August, 953. Now, from there, take a look at this. That's a nice channel. Costco seems headed to 1,000. If it breaks above 960, too expensive. Yeah, Amy, way too expensive for me. Okay, but I will look at Comcast because I like Comcast. CMCSA. CMCSA. All right, so let's take a gander at it. Look at the channeling that this has. Okay, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now she's coming down. Not great to jump into, but if you already own it, why not? I sold the 11 puts on this. Okay, if she goes to the upside, goes above 11, great. I'm going to hold on to it and keep bringing that money in. Comcast. So anyway, the last 30 days. Here we go. Last 30 days. Up, down, up, down. Okay, not something we want to take a look at. It's going to be about a week or so before it actually makes that move. So we'll put it down for next week. Comcast, CMCSA. That's going to be a no. Quick, right to it, right? A year ago, 41.35. The top on the beginning of February, 47.11. The bottom, 4.25. April 25th, 36.41. And look at the movement it has since then. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay. Last 30 days. 30 days ago, we opened up at 40.96. She goes up, pulls back. There's the bottom on the 21st. Okay, and that is 40.46. From there, she shoots up, gets the new 30-day high on the 31st, pulls back, shoots up again. Not quite there, pulls back again. Who knows what she's going to do next, but it looks as if she should be pulling back, coming off of that profit taking. Mark wants to take a look at Macy's. Yeah, so Comcast looks like it'll be good in about a week or two. And it's already on the list. Take a look at it in a week or two. Mickey D's. Let's take a look at Macy's first. Here's Macy's. The company's been in business over 100 years. Here's our high, 22.15. Here's our bottom a year ago, 10.69. She shoots up, travels sideways for looks like 6-7 months. Drops down, starting to go sideways again. We're sitting at 15.67. Last 30 days. 30 days ago, we opened up at 15.21. Shoots up, pulls back, makes the 30-day bottom on Tuesday, 4 days ago. From there, it was 15 even. She gaps up, and she has a new 30-day high on Thursday. That's kind of funny, having a 30-day bottom on Tuesday, 30-day high on Thursday. So, 1 day in between. Okay, from that 30-day high, a little bit of a pullback. We're sitting at 15.67. Okay, and the 16s are going for 19 cents, which is over 1%. And that's what we're looking for. A good quality company. Now, I like Macy's. I do. they've had a couple of buyout offers this year. I think it was 4 of them. And they said no to all of them. All right, somebody wanted to take them private. Yeah, I guess it is what it is. All right. Whew. A lot of traveling. I'm tired. Let's keep on going. So, Macy's. Is that it? Macy's. Oh, Mickey D's. MCD. Isn't that going to be a no? Because they're so high. MCD. Oh yeah, she that high, and then she finally pulled back. Yeah, because some weird news it made it drop. But take a look. High 318.24. That was a couple of weeks ago. Bottomed was in the beginning of July, 242. Well, a year ago, we're at 266. Shoots up, pulls back, shoots up, pulls back on bad news, and then she just keeps on going to the upside. James, is it possible to set the trade prior to 9:30 on Monday? Well, of course it is. You can actually set the trade right now, and it will fill on Monday morning. It depends. If you do a market order, it'll fill first thing Monday morning. If you do a limit order, well, it will fill when it hits that limit order. Okay. I just joined. Sweetie Swag, how are you doing? What did I miss? Is this the Twilight Zone? I'm cold. I'm up in Maine, hanging out with my friends, and we're gonna do some work on his estate, just for the fun of it. I had nothing else to do. Wanted to get, some peace and quiet. So here I am. A change of pace. I've been pushing it off all year, so that mom's okay and everybody's going to move forward in that scenario of that part of that life. Yeah, well, I'm finally getting up here for my little vacation time away. Connecticut. I'm up in Maine. I don't think I go to Connecticut. I don't know. Maybe I'll get there soon. All right, so that's Mickey D's. Let's take a look. The last 30 days. $30 ago, McDonald's opened up at 302.94. Shoots up to hit the high on the 21st. A little bit of bad news, dropped like a rock, retraced, dropped again, found the 30-day bottom on the 30th. From the 30th, look at the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row going to the upside. Well, I'm not quite sure if you can call these 2 days an uptrend, but if you look at the bottoms, they're going higher. All right, so we're currently at 298.97. The 300s are going for 234. So whoever liked McDonald's, we're going to say no because it's not giving out 1% this week. So that's going to be a no. JP Morgan, JPM. JP Morgan. Nope. Look at it. Look at the chart. Way too high. Big, huge gap on Wednesday, election day. Found a new high of the year at 248. Well, Thursday was profit taking, and Friday just didn't retrace too much. So, not 100% sure how to do that one. I don't like buying at a 30-day high. I don't care what the premiums are. That's JP Morgan. CVX, Chevron. CVX. A year ago, 142, topped out at 167. That is back in April, late April. It bottomed out September 11th. Okay, from there, look at the last 30 days. 30 days ago was the 30-day bottom. What usually you're going to bring a polar bear tomorrow with you? Neil, how are you doing? Yeah, I'm a little bit chilly. 30 days ago for Chevron was the 30-day high. Waste Management, hey Alcon? What is AM? I have no idea what AM. Usually when I say what is something, that's usually going to be a no. 30 days ago, it was a 30-day bottom. Just going sideways for a week or two. Look at 1, 2 gaps up, and then it's pulling back. It's going to be a no. I don't like when they pull back like that. All right. So Chevron looks like 2 weeks from today. Give it a little bit of time to pull back a little bit. No name, months, no. Couple of weeks. No heat at that place. Actually, there is heat. But it's still cold. It's not like Florida. What are we looking at? We are looking at CVX. CVX. All right, so CVX for next week. Next on the list, international paper. Wow, we haven't looked at international paper in a while. International paper. That's going to be a no. Look at that top. Top was on Wednesday. Thursday was back. Thursday was a pullback. Friday was a pullback. All right. MU, Micron. No name, congrats. Okay. Can we look at OHI? We could. Or I can tell you no now. OHI. OHI, there it goes. Omega Health REIT. No. Okay, did you see that? OHI. I pulled it up. It is a monthly optionable stock. Monthly optionable stocks are always going to be a no for me. Okay, if you want to buy a monthly optional stock, fine. You can only do an option play once a month. Those numbers just don't work for me. I like 1% every single week. I can't get that with Omega. It has monthly options. No, sorry. OHI is a no. Okay, Micron. MU. Micron Technologies. Okay, here's the high, 157.92. The low was actually a year ago, 72.55. Where is it now? 111.90. She shoots up, hits that high, pulls back, shoots up again. Doc, you want to look at DJT? There's no trading on Monday. Absolutely not. So we'll be trading on Tuesday. Okay. So Micron. We're still looking at Micron. Hold on. Doc, I don't know why you want to look at DJT, Doc. DJT. I wrote it down. We'll take a look at DJT. Last 30 days for Micron. $30 days ago, we opened up at 102.25. A week later, there's the top, 114.14. From there, 2 weeks later, there's the bottom, 98.83. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, 6 days to the upside. Has a 30-day high on Friday. I got off DJT, too risky. Yeah, I hear you. Which one's your absolute favorite? That would be Macy's. What about Dollar Tree? The DTR? DTR. All right, we'll take a look at it. AXON. I've checked that one once before, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a no. AXON, but we'll take a look at it. All right, so Micron. Yeah, we're going to wait for that to pull back. We'll write that down for 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today. MU. Calabri, we already looked at Advanced Auto Parts. Doc wants to take a look at DJT. DJT. Axon 30% gain Friday after earnings. Okay. All right, so DJT. it does have weekly options. Alrighty. But I don't think they have dividends. But look at the numbers all over the place. Here's your bottom right there on the 23rd of September. Okay? Shoots up nicely, pulls back, shoots back up again, pulls up. Okay, so we're at 31.91. Not quite sure what you want to do here, but it only has a weekly option. It doesn't have any dividends, so it's basically going to be a no for me. AXON. Axon Enterprises. Yeah, that's going to be a no. Look at the premium. $32. Hell no, DJT is fraudulent. Terrible business that produces nothing. Oh, Equation. Thank you for that. 31.72, the current stock price. The 32 call strike is 3.75. That's crazy. 3.75 divide 31.72. Divide 31.72. 11.8%. Now, I don't mind DJT. It has potential, but we don't really know what's going to happen with it. Okay, I'm not going to do it because no dividends. Disney. Amy wants to take a look at Disney. DIS. All right, Amy will write it down. Which stock do you believe will perform well during next week's earnings report? I don't pay attention to the earnings reports. Okay? I look at stocks specifically. Do I like them? Do I want to own them? Okay? How often have they been consistently profitable? I mean, are they profitable every year? Higher and higher dividends, higher and higher profits. Okay, do they have weekly options? There's a lot of interesting questions you need to ask yourself. Now, lately, we've seen Harley Davidson had positive earnings and the stock went down. We've also seen Estee Lauder. They had positive earnings and their stock went down. There's a couple of companies we've seen with good earnings and the stock still goes down. But then again, we've seen companies with bad earnings and their stocks went up. There's no real rhyme or reason to the earnings because the market maker can do whatever they want with the data. Who produces the best dividends monthly, please? Equation, I honestly don't know that answer because that's not the kind of information I'm looking for. Hey, DJT, we looked at that one. Dollar Tree, DTR. DTR. Equation, who produced Griffin, best dividend stock to invest into, not looking to mess with, just want to let it ride. Well, you're definitely in the wrong place, dude. That's not what I do. Okay, I honestly cannot tell you where to put your money. Just let it sit there. I can't because that's not what I focus on. So I have no clue whatsoever. Sorry. Alrighty, so Dollar Tree, DLT. DLT, isn't it? DLT. DLTR. Okay, so DLTR. The high of the year, 151.63. The bottom of the year, 60.11. A year ago, 114.81. Currently, at 61. Are you using Thinkorswim? Yes, I am. Sweetie Swag, TSCO. What the heck is that? TSCO. I will take a look at it. Hold tight. So Dollar Tree, last 30 days. 30 days ago, we opened up at 69.35. Okay, we dropped, retraced. Monday is the 30-day high, and that was 70.37. 2 days later, on Wednesday, well, there's a 30-day bottom, and that was 60.52. Okay. Now, we have 2 days to the upside, but not really. Thursday was an up day. Friday was kind of a down day. Okay, it has a higher bottom than Wednesday, but still to the downside. Someone turn off your heat. No, the heater's on. It's just not warm enough. I believe it's in the 40s. Yeah, I remember. This morning, I was in the 70s and 80s. Okay, I was in Florida, and it was 70s, 80s. Right now, I'm up in Maine, and it's in the 40s. Yeah, I'm cold. Even with the heater on, I'm still cold. All right, so Dollar Tree is... We're going to keep our eye on Dollar Tree. DLTR. So we'll keep our eye on it and see what it does this week. See if it finds that new 30-day bottom, turns around, gives us 2 days to the upside. All right. Next on the list, AXON. Now, did we take a look at AXON? AXON. AXON. Yeah, it's a monthly, and it's over 250 bucks. And it's at the high of the year with a huge gap up. I'm sure there's a reason to it somewhere. It's not something that's going to consistently do that. James, I'm leaving a little early, but I cannot send you any more messages unless you reply. Well, here's your reply. Didn't I just send that one? There you go. See, that works. Good night. All right, so that being said, AXON, yeah, that's going to be a no. Disney, DIS. DIS. Saint Chroma, what do you think about Dogecoin? I don't do coins. Sorry. 98.99. Oh, holy shit. That looks nice. Okay, Disney, the high, 123.83. That was beginning of April. The bottom, the beginning of August, 83.91. No dividends, no thank you. Okay, AMD, yeah, no dividends, no thank you. A year ago, 88.97. She shoots up to hit a high at 123.92. Floats down to that bottom, 83.64. Now we're sitting at 99.02. All right, last 30 days. 30 days ago was the 30-day bottom. She shoots up, pulls back, gaps up on Wednesday, going sideways for the last 3 days. Not 100% feeling it. But it looks like there should be some pullback on that one. So I'm going to say no to Disney only because it's at the high at the moment. So, Joe Necco, how are you doing today? TSCO. I'm tired. I've been traveling a lot today. TSCO. TSCO. Tractor Supply. Did I miss Home Depot? Yes, you did. We already did Home Depot. Tractor Supply, 288. Okay. Here's the top, 307. Here's the bottom a year ago, 193. Look at the movement. Up, sideways, up, drop, and then back up again. We're 288.56. 287s, 290s. Yeah. Okay, looks like you can get you 1% out of that. 30 days. $30 days ago, we were at 303. 4 days later, there's the top, 307.64. There she drops, finds the bottom. Not last week. Okay, we already did Ford. Sorry. Did you miss Lowe's? Brian, yes, you did miss Lowe's. TRMD, Bulldog. TRMD, what the heck is that? Let's write that one down. TRMD. Never heard of it. Yes, Brian, you did miss Lowe's. So, Tractor Supply, here's the 30-day high back in on the 15th. That was 3 weeks ago. The bottom was last week on the 31st. Shoots up nicely. Now, there's still plenty of room for it to go up higher if you really like the company. Because it's 288, she's paying over $4, which is over 1.5% for the week. TRMD, no weekly options. Thanks, 86. Sorry, dude, no for TRMD. Okay, next on my list, I have Allie, A-L, Ann, Jill Ann. What is the thermostat set at in that house? Is your house mad at you? You're under the impression that a house built in the 1700s has a thermostat. No, we got a fireplace. We got we got a pellet stove, a wood stove, a furnace, and electric heaters in almost every room. And it's still cold. Insulation in the walls. They're all single pane windows. 20 acres of land, so there's plenty of wood to cut and chop firewood. So when you have nothing else to do up here in Maine, you do firewood and you save it up for the whole winter, and all winter long you use it all. Heat must be on high since the walls are red. Huh, that's funny. Would you, Sweetie Swag, would you believe I hand painted those walls? Or was it this year? No, it was last year. I hand painted those. It took me 3 days. Anyway, my DG dropped below the 84 buy price. What would you sell or DCA with puts? Paul, how are you doing? Well, Paul, this is a great state. Sandman, well, I'm up in Maine. Way, way, way up in Maine. You know, almost into Canada. My friend Stanley's house. I've known him since, oh my God, 1978. Yeah. Anyway. Paul, DG. Let's take a quick look. Dollar General. Now, there's the high, 168. Here's our bottom, 76. Last year, we were at 119. Shoots up, pulls back, big drop, and continues lower. All right, so here's where we are. The 9th. There's the 9th, 30 days ago. Now, you jumped in at 84, which I'm assuming was quite a while ago, because this thing hasn't been at 84 in months. Okay. What do you think about the 80s? Because if you take a look at the 80s, right? Hear me out, Paul. You ready? If you sell the 80s, you can pick up 49 cents, which is well over 0.5%. Right? But look how high it is. Okay, you don't like that one? Shoot for the 81s. On the opposite side, sell the puts also. This way you have, let's say hypothetically you have 200 shares at, what did you say it was? 84? Okay, and you sold the 80s. You picked up 49 cents, which is a little under 0.5%, over 0.5%. And you also sold the puts, the same amount, 2 contracts. Well, they are paying 4%. So you're doing 2 different things. One, you're getting 0.5% on the shares you already own, and you're getting 4% on shares you don't own yet, but there's a possibility you could own them. And if you do own them, well, you would have brought in 2.5% for the week between those 2 positions. Now you get to own the other shares at 80. Okay, so if you're selling the 80 calls and you're selling the 80 puts, the calls on the position you already own, the puts on the positions you don't own yet. So you're actually going to create 2.5% coming in. And if she stays below 80, right, you have to buy those stocks at 80, which dollar cost average down, but you're picking up $3.45. Well, $3.45 brings you your cost base is way below 76. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, somewhere in that area. So think about it. Ooh. A couple more before it's bedtime. You're right. I wouldn't be freezing in the Bahamas. That's where I was originally supposed to be. Okay? Me and the young lady, we bought a 42-foot boat and we're supposed to be in the Caribbean. She got a bad report from the dock. Dock said no flying, no traveling, so we sold the boat. Now I'm by myself. Did you drive? No, I took the plane. Would you believe it was less than $200 for a round-trip ticket from Florida to Maine? I can't even drive out of the state of Florida for $200. All right. That's everything on my list. You are roughing it. Kinda. Not really, because roughing it would be worse. Because I do have a heater in the room, and it is warmer in the room than it is outside. All right, let's go. Ally Bank is next. A-L-L. A-L-L-Y. Ally Financial. All right. I was up to 2:30 in the morning last night baking cake. Someone's birthday was last night. 45.46. That was back in July. That was the high. The bottom was a year ago, 25.06. So she shoots up nicely. Nice turn. Now, I don't understand why people just don't sell at the high and say thank you and wait for it to drop. Well, she did drop. Then she went up again. And then she dropped again. And then she went up again. Currently, the last 30 days, let's take a gander right there. Yeah. Sorry, this thing's going to drop like a rock. Because, it's at the high. I don't like buying at the 30-day high. Okay, so that's no to Ally Bank. Comcast, we looked at Procter & Gamble. Okay. Procter & Gamble. Interesting. The high of the year, 177.86. The bottom, 142. A year ago, 149. Currently at 167. Alcon, we already looked at AM, didn't we? Hold on a second. Yeah. Alcon, AM is going to be a no. Waste Management, that's going to be a no also. I don't like monthlies. The numbers don't work. Motel 6, NGL. That's a no also. Correct. Waste Management. Yeah. No, it's a monthly. WM Waste Management monthly. No. Okay. Now, what were we just looking at? Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble, Dividend King, over 100 years old. Okay, here's the high, 177. That was early September. Looking for the weeklies. Absolutely. I like the weeklies. There's 52 weeks in a year. At 1% for each option, that's 52%. Okay, monthly, 1% per option, that's 12%. Yeah, no thanks. I like the weeklies. It's weird, Why would you pick 52% over 12%? I don't know. Kind of strange. All right. Procter & Gamble. Last 30 days. Ah, damn, look at that. 30 days ago, 168. Shoots up to 175. That's the high. The bottom just so happens to be at 159. 2 days to the upside. Great opportunity to jump in. That's what I like charts to look like. 30-day high, coming down to a 30-day bottom. 2 days to the upside. That tells me she's turning around and going in the right direction. Well, great. Well, what's the at-the-money strike price right now? With 67.71, you look at the 68s. They don't have one. So you look at the 67.50s. The 67.50s are only 135, not 1%. So that's going to be a no, only because the numbers just aren't what we want them to be. Citigroup. Oh, I like Citigroup. Citigroup. That's going to be a no. Look at that big gap up on Wednesday. Yeah. Too close to taking profits. That's going to be a no. Sorry. 3M. Interesting. Interesting. All right. The high of the year was a couple of weeks ago, 141.34. The bottom was back in February at 75.50. A year ago, 76.39. Up, down, up. The high of the year, 141.04. Last 30 days went sideways. Here's the top right there. Here's your bottom 3 days later on the 25th, 124.50. Up, down, she gaps up and keeps going. All right. The numbers 134.34. That is going for 166. The 135 is 112. Great job. You had 90 minutes. Don't forget to take a break. Yep, it's just about break time. I'm freezing. I'm going to bed. I did my hour, my 2 hours. Let's take a look at 4 more, and then we'll call it a night. Oh, 3 more, because we already looked at Kohl's. All right, Dow, D-O-W, D-O-W, Dow Inc. All right, high of the year, 60.75. The bottom of the year, which was yesterday, 46.28. A year ago, 48.65. She shoots up, pulls back, goes sideways, and drops currently where we are. Okay, the 46.58, the 47s are going for not quite 1%. I'm going to say no to the Dow. Also, look at this. The last 30 days is dropping, 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 and dropping. What website are you using? Tecmo NFL. Okay, Tecmo NFL. This is not a website. This is Think or Swim. It is a trading platform. So as soon as the Dow turns around and goes 3 days to the upside, then it might be a yes, if you like it. Also, Gracie, how are you this evening? Nice of you to join us. If the numbers go a little bit higher, because right now the 46 at the money, the 46.58, the 46.50s are going for 58 cents. Losing 18 cents means I'm walking away with 40. That's less than 1%. That's going to be a no. Okay, I don't like it when they don't give me 1%. Love the insight. Thank you. The Gap, G-A-P. G-A-P. Okay. Our high, end of May, that was 30.91. The bottom the low, which was 13.25. That was a year ago. She shoots up, travels sideways, currently sitting at 21.67. The last 30 days. Absolutely, Ann. All right, not a dividend stock. What about Uber? Tecmo, yeah, no dividends, no thank you. No options, no thank you. No 20 years of increased dividends, no thank you. I'm pretty picky of what I pick. You think of it this way. This is your money you're talking about. Well, with my money, I'm very picky. I want 20 years of increased dividends. That means they've got to be consistently profitable a minimum of 20 years. Okay, because a dividend is a portion of the profits that the company gives back to the shareholders. And if that consistently goes up, well, then they're consistently profitable. It's actually that simple. Okay? If you're going to put your money into a company that's not always profitable, why? I mean, it's a valid question. Okay, why would you give your money to someone who doesn't do it, who doesn't cut the mustard? Oh, I don't know how. Good night. Buy low. You're right. Buy low, sell high. Compound. Never heard of them. All right, it's 11:30. Last one we're going to do is going to be Starbucks. SBUX. SBUX. All right, the high of the year was a year ago, 107.58. We actually have a double bottom, once in May and again in the middle of July, 71.47. She gaps up, keeps on running. Look at the last 30 days. Okay, started up 30 days by dropping. Now, the bottom is on the 23rd. Can you please, Ish, can I please explain the theory behind the 1%? I'm not quite sure. How do you explain a theory about 1%? Oh, here's something interesting. The great J. Paul Getty. I don't know if you remember who J. Paul Getty is, but a few years ago, well, a few decades ago, when he died, he didn't leave a will, and he didn't have any children, and he was